Have you ever walked past an old, gnarled tree and felt a sudden, inexplicable chill? What if that tree held a secret, a memory of a terrible sorrow? Deep in the heart of rural Bengal, there stands an ancient banyan tree, its sprawling roots digging into the earth like skeletal fingers. Locals whisper that it isn't just wood and leaves. They say it has a soul, a haunted one. Tonight, we journey into the shadows of this tree to uncover a story of heartbreak and a spirit that refuses to be forgotten. The village is like many others in Bengal, peaceful and remote, but its tranquility is broken by the presence of this colossal banyan. For generations, it has been a place of fear. The story begins with a young bride brought to the village full of hopes and dreams, but her new life was far from a fairy tale. Her in-laws were cruel, their words like venom, their actions even worse. One day, amidst the crushing weight of her sorrow, she simply vanished. No one knows for sure what happened. Some say she ended her own suffering, her body found hanging from one of the banyan's lowest branches. Others whisper a darker tale, that she was murdered in secret, her body hidden within the labyrinth of the tree's roots, forever binding her to it. Whatever the truth, her departure was not the end of her story. It was the beginning of the haunting. Soon after she was gone, strange things began to happen. When the wind rustled through the banyan's leaves, villagers heard the faint, mournful sound of a woman crying. Cattle would refuse to graze near it, and birds would suddenly take flight in a panic, as if startled by an unseen presence. The tree, once a landmark, became a monument to a lingering tragedy. Then she started to appear. A pale, ethereal figure dressed in a simple white sari, her long dark hair flowing in the wind even on a still night. Sometimes travelers would see her perched high on a branch, her feet dangling aimlessly. Other times she was a fleeting shadow, floating near the base of the trunk where her story may have met its grim end. Those who saw her up close described her eyes, empty yet glowing with an eerie light in the darkness. The tales of encounters with the spirit are chilling. A lone farmer heading home late heard the distinct jingle of anklets following him, only to turn and find no one there. A group of children playing near the tree at dusk saw shadows dancing around its trunk, twisting into shapes that weren't their own. The most terrifying stories are of those who dared to rest under its branches after sundown. Some were found the next morning, their minds shattered, muttering incoherently. Others seemed to have aged decades in a single night. Their hair turned white, their faces etched with a horror they couldn't explain. Fear wrapped itself around the village. The banyan tree became a forbidden zone, a place of immense dread. To appease the restless spirit, villagers began leaving offerings at its roots, small bowls of rice and milk, simple gifts to soothe a soul tormented by injustice. It was a desperate attempt to calm the sorrow that was so powerful it had seeped into the very wood of the tree. This spirit isn't seen as purely malevolent. She is a symbol of profound grief, a soul trapped by the pain and injustice she suffered in life. Her connection to the tree is an eternal bond, a physical anchor for her unending sorrow. She is a permanent reminder that some wounds are so deep they scar the landscape itself. Even now, the warning is passed down from one generation to the next. Never go near the banyan tree after sunset. Stay away from its shadows and do not linger in its presence. They say the spirit is still there, listening for footsteps, for voices, for any sign of the living, forever replaying the tragedy that tied her to this world. This folktale is more than just a ghost story. It's a powerful testament to how human emotions like grief and injustice can leave an indelible mark, turning a simple tree into both a sacred shrine and a terrible curse. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey into the heart of Bengali folklore. If you enjoyed this story, please give this video a like and subscribe for more tales from the shadows. Stay curious and stay safe.